That's live, I bet.
Cool. Do you know how many you've got in this? Is there enough room for... So Mick will be alright to dive in as well. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, well, he can... Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. So, good luck, mate.
See you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll have a race chat after. So that was set. Yeah, that was an intense first race. It's just such an unforgiving track. The slightest mistake costs massive.
Oh. Must be sitting with Grim and Ash now. Them and Harley had a few incidents. Ooh.
Yeah, I know the gap to Ash was I knew I was that far behind AJ. I was just managing it towards the end. So
I felt heartbroken for Grim. I had them ready to swap as well, you know.
Was it last?
Last lap. Chicane of death.
I think if Grim had been in that position, it should have been his to keep. To be honest.
What? No, Grim was keeping together. Grim and Harley were swapping.
Grim and Harley were swapping.
No, Grim and Ash were swapping. Grim was going to go ahead because he raced his heart out.
He has. I mean, because I came out of. I've just realised we're live. Everyone's hearing what we're buffing about. I came out of second pit, I think, on Grim was still in fourth. He had a real good run.
Oh, he was doing brilliant.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get us in the get you in the room with us today, Mr. Hammer Boosh. If not, we'll maybe keep you in the chat and just talk, just race chat. Really, we can cover ones from race one. Obviously, if you're watching the stream, you'll be a little bit behind. Let's just have a look. Let's get the stream up on the Apple Mac in case Mr. Gates wants to sponsor us with a new one.
Well, for emergency sake, I also have it on my not Apple Mac.
Oh yeah, because it won't be Mr. Gates, would it, on Apple Mac? Yeah.
No.
No, I'm a div.
It would be whoever who took over from Polo next, skinny bloke. The jobs, that was it.
Right, let's have a spectate and see how we're getting on. See what sort of times people are doing. Ball Boy is a new name, I think. I don't think we saw him in here last week. But 37.5 is quite an impressive lap. Doc Coop, I think Doc Coop ran in first. AJ's going to be knackered. He had a run in race one. We were up behind him and trying to add a little bit of pressure, but he's very good. And he just had the legs at the end.
He's a phenomenal driver. I'm very
good.
Watching him.
Very good. His tyre wear is ridiculous. And he's just.
Jeff, could you do me a favour and just switch between two cars quickly? I want to see just how far behind I am from watching on Twitch.
There you go. We're on with BJ Robbo now, and we'll dive back to have a look at Max.
It's intense. If I can't get in the room, I can watch it on here.
Awesome. So let's have a look. I think we've got a couple of new drivers in. I can't type on here. Let's just hang on a minute. We need to tell him that we are in as commentary.
The Morris Papers are in.
Yep.
Commentators.
I'm going to apologise early for anyone's watching. I was sat with Robot earlier trying to figure out why my keyboard doesn't seem to want to give us any replays. It does everything else, even little things like we can now tell you this is Marco, and it'll give you a picture of their
look at that!
Their race helmet. So we're ready for a practice start. I think Mick, you're probably going to be about 5 or 10 seconds behind at most. So we'll have a look, see what we've got. Ball Boy looks good. The Beetle's not as bad a car as a lot of people make it out to be. I've had a drive in it.
After watching race 1, it looked a little bit less stable than all the other cars out there on this track.
I think
but I imagine on other tracks it's going to be amazing.
It's quite short, it's quite nimble, but it does like to use tyres.
It's a Beetle, so it's just unforgivable.
Got pitch black. There may be some inter-team, inter-division movements at some point. Maybe people doubling up. We'll keep that quiet for now, but just expect maybe a little bit of movement this week between Raven West and Corvo West. So we've got BJ Robbo's out there in 6th. Havoc in 7th. Havoc's a great guy, done a bit of F1 with him, and he drove for us in the early part of the season in Division 1. Max again in the Capri Sun Beetle. VR, I believe, did some racing in this series last year. Good F1 driver as well. Marco in 10th. Fifi, again, another one of the OFR F1 drivers. He'll be driving with myself and possibly Ash in the D3 race tonight. Very quick for a D3 driver. Martin, retired, who is driving the Raven West colour scheme in Division 2 today, even though he's actually driving Corvo West because he's doubled up today.
Yeah, he's doing a double shift, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And yeah, I believe we're getting very close to a practice start. Kimmy's commenting on too fast for D2. Not quite sure which one you're on about, Kimmy. There's a couple of them in there I think will be very coming. Obviously, AJ's proven, if that's who you're on about, proven himself more than capable of running at the top end of D1 today. Pitch, I think, could throw in there as well. Havoc, again, could do a real good job in D1. So this is the practice start. Well, hopefully everyone will get off. See how we managed to get on today. Well, we've got interest. A couple of interesting comments from Ash, who's a fan of Mahogany,
nice.
I believe, yeah, and Smalley, who, Smalley. Kawasaki.
That one.
Yeah, no, there was certainly. Oh, we've had a bit of carnage on the start. Havoc is doing donuts. We're also enjoying a bit of team hospitality here in the commentary booth. So I think, oh no, that's it, everyone's backed off out now. Right, everyone's got to exit, I believe, the next start. What the hell is mahogany? Mahogany is a wood.
It's a good wood, it's a dark wood.
It's good, very strong, good. It's a good furniture wood. It's a good furniture wood.
I do like the smell of a rich mahogany.
Yeah, or even a poor pine. Oh dear. And
I do love our Sundays.
We are going to stream, try and end, or at some point in each stream, interject a little bit of humour as well. While it's at times like this, while we're waiting for the full start. So there may be the occasional little humorous joke dive its way in. If Shane's watching, yes, that will involve penguins.
Mr. Wilson in the comments again, all hail Dr. Robot. This one may not be as good as him in the commentary, but I like what we do.
I think we're very, very good. Teamwork.
Smalley says mahogany is good for carsy seats. For those that don't speak Geordie, that is loose seats.
Yep. Aye. And Smalley races for someone who's on an E-wing, and he's actually a good driver. I think Smalley could do a bit in here. He's a big fan of a Kawasaki.
The Poopa Scuba.
Aye. Which, by the comments that were made at the start of the Division 1 race, it's possibly something that Don Cook would need. I believe the start was delayed due to him needing to reduce his pre-race ballast. It was. This is the start. Now, I believe in the background of the pit shot there was a couple of drivers doing donuts in the pits.
Yeah, the bashing off the pit wall bug.
So we'll have a look once the race gets started. We have only got 14 making the start, Rod. So as soon as the race has started and we're away, if you want to join in, you'll be live with us.
I shall move over to my commentary booth once the race starts.
So we'll have a look. This is the race start. We'll see how we get on. See, hopefully everyone get away. And Max has stopped on the line. Max was on pole and stopped.
That's the second race that's happened.
It is. So something. Obviously, that happened unfortunately to Leaper in the first race as well. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if the lobby host restarts the race. I don't think so. So we'll just run with the race at the moment, see if it goes off. We've got Marco's away in the front. If you want to jump in whenever you're ready, Rod. Marco's pulled out a second. There's a little bit of carnage going on, a little bit lower down the field. There's a massive gaggle from, I believe it's going to be 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, right the way down. So let's just use the camera to vary.
This is very confusing, this, Jeff. I'm trying to watch it on my computer while it's going in the room. Can't see much.
So, second now. Pitch is in second place. It's now it's already 1.1 behind Marco. Super Bounty in third, Fifi fourth, Ballboy VR. AJ's just taken VR for 6th place. We'll jump up to AJ and see if he's going to carry on where he left off in the Division 1 race. And I believe just about everyone is through the chicane of death. No one is giving us flashing. Oh, Martin might maybe got caught up there. He's got no damage, but he seems to have gapped to the back of the field slightly. So I think maybe Martin's just got tangled up there on the way into the chicane of death. We'll jump back up to the front. Marco is Super Batman's pulling it back. The BMW M6 has shown quite well so far. AJ's had good results in it, and Super Batman is dragging Marco back. He's got it down to just over half a second now, with Pitch in third, Ballboy, Fifi, AJ, VR, BJ, Robbo, round 90 top 8.
Fifi's got some front end damage, I've noticed. AJ's got a little bit of rear wheel damage. I'm
just looking at the moment. Got the Tag Heuer cars, who had a really, really strong run out last week at Interlagos, are down in 8th, 10th and 11th at the moment.
They've all got pretty severe damage as well, so I don't know if there's been a bit of a
maybe a little bit of team cuddling, maybe, if the ball kind of like come together. This is really, really tight back at the front between Marco and AJ. There's an optimistic move there from AJ at the exit of the chicane of death. Just about got away with it. It's caused aero damage to the rear of Pitch's car.
Super Bounty has totaled his car. Yeah, he's going to be really struggling. He's going to have to get into the pits.
AJ's got a little bit of rear wheel damage as well. Let's jump back, see who else comes through there. Marco, luckily, although he's dropped a couple of places, and I say it was an optimistic move there by AJ. He's dropped a couple of places. He's still within a second of the lead, and he's suffered no damage, which is good. Ballboy in the Beetle He's all over the back of Marco, who's closely followed by Fifi and VR. Fifi had a little bit of wobble there coming out of the chicane, so I think VR may have just... VR's got through. There's an off. Who's got off there?
Look.
Maybe... It looks like Marco. Marco's dropped right back. It's Marco that went off, going into the first section of that double right, which has allowed Martin to go on back and had a really good run in the Division 1 race. It was a very last minute drop into there due to a driver swap availability. A strong 7th place. Marco's got real heavy damage here. I think Marco's going to have to pit early, which is going to throw strategy well out. AJ's away at the front at the moment.
Yeah, pulling away a nice gap. But see, I do believe in this race most of the action you're going to see is going to be on the chicane of death.
Very much so. It's a hard corner to get right. Even the slightest little clip does prove quite costly. AJ's got an indicator stuck on there. I'm not sure where his Thomas is going to go. Maybe that's flashing on the right because he's going right to the very front.
AJ's in the BMW. I didn't believe they actually came with indicators.
Well, this is a turn up of the books. Maybe it's a racing option.
The optional extra.
So we've got Pitch now in second, who's dropping back ever so slightly from AJ. Only a couple of tenths of that.
Ballboy's making up some good time on Pitch here.
He is. He's dragging back in slowly. And it's a good showing from the Beetle. I think Ballboy's another new driver. I don't remember seeing him in the race with us last week.
I'm going to keep an eye on this battle here, Jeff. I'll take back everything I say about the Beetle. It's actually looking...
It's very stable.
Yeah. Well, in race 1 I noticed it always... In most of the accidents that I'd seen, it was Beetles. I thought they just might be a bit jumpy or... Maybe. Short wheelbase and that.
We're just having a look back now at battle 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th with Doc Coop, Havoc, Martin Bananas and Tom. As Havoc goes up the inside of Doc Coop into the right hander before the chicane of death. This could get very, very tight through here. It's not really an obvious place to pass in this section. We've now got 5 drivers from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. With Havoc, Doc Coop, Martin Bananas, Phil Babbage. There's a little bit of contact there, but both got away with it. And I think Tom was moving the back at this point. Sorry, BJ Robbo. BJ Robbo's in the back with the Corvo West driver.
Back at the front, AJ's pulled away. He's 4 seconds ahead now, which is no surprise, really.
But his lap time consistent 38s this finals race, still with a little bit of suspension damage on his offside rear as well. It's very, very impressive. Pitch again, good drive though in the FT1 for Corvo West. He's got rear aero damage as well, so it's going to be affecting his lap times a little bit, but he's actually maintaining the gap back to Ballboy now. It's on between 0.7 and 0.8 per second, but it is allowing VR just to sneak up behind him now.
One thing I noticed with talking to the Rod and Pollux lads in the last race, the aero damage can have a lot of effect into the chicane of death. I know Harley had a little bit of rear aero damage, which led to a big accident in the chicane of death because there was just nothing there when he went for it.
Making the back end of the car a little bit more unstable on the entries.
Yeah.
So it's just on back down to this battle for
Pitch Black. This one between Pitch Black and Ballboy.
You keep an eye on that for Jeff. There's now 5 cars, nearly 5 wide, going into the right hander before the chicane. You've now got BJ Robbo, who's a little bit
just slightly grazed the wall. And Ballboy's going around his outside onto the inside of the last corner. He's through. He's going to keep it.
He's shown him the outside line there. He's got a good drive onto the straight. Oh, Pitch is round.
Pitch just
what a save!
Well held.
What a save! But it has allowed VR
right back in there,
right on his tail. That was a good save there by Pitch, and it's now allowing Tom as well. You can have a couple of good battles here. You've got Pitch, VR and Tom sneaking behind as well, which is going to be a good battle for the final podium place. And you're still in this epic 5-way battle for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, although BJ Robbo and Phil Babbage have just gapped the other two a little bit now. See how the gap is to... Yeah, they've just put 1.7 into Super Bounty, so you've got Super Bounty, Havoc, and I believe Martin will be in 10th place.
Martin's got some pretty nasty damage.
Yeah, as I think strategy-wise, there's two real options here. It is possible to run 2-stop, but I can't really see anybody doing it because you do lose time on the later laps on those tyres. So if they're all on a similar 3-stop strategy to most of the front runners in the first race, then Martin will probably try and hold on for another lap or take his slightly shorter stint on the first stint and pit at the end of this lap. So we could see this going in. AJ's coming on to the start finish straight now, so we'll see if he decides to take his shorter stint on the first with his tyre wear is not as different to the other drivers as it has been in the past. Maybe this is just a little bit harder on tyres here for the BM.
Pitch Black's just had another wobble coming out of the last turn again. I don't know if it's that rear aero damage
and tyre wear.
It's just stopping him from putting the power down. But VR's going to have a hell of a run on him here, round the outside.
Will he take him down into the chicane?
Guys, inside the chicanes. It's going to be tight.
That was really...
It's contact! Contact between 3! Wow!
3, wow. There was contact. I think it was just neither driver wanted to give there.
Do a damage check on any of them. Tom sustained a little bit of front end damage from it. Pitch Black's already had that rear aero, and VR has a bit of front aero damage as well. So
great deal. Just trying.
I mean, they could get away with that till the next pit stop, I would say.
Just trying to get the replay option. Doesn't want to work. So we'll get that perfected for next week. We spent some time with Dr. Robot earlier on trying to get that to work, and it didn't seem to want to. So, but we have got his ball boys on a lap time of 1:40.8 is his best, and the gap to the leaders now is 10.7.
Watching AJ through the chicane of death nicely. I tell you what, he's such a consistent driver.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not dragging as much away now. He looks to be going quite steady through there. Maybe he's going to come in for his start. Oh, little wobble. Right, AJ's in the pits. AJ's the first one to pit, so he is going to go for what looks like a 3-stop. We'll just watch what he comes out on tyre-wise. We'll have a little bit of damage to repair on his offside rear. That's why this pit stop may look a bit longer than normal. So he's gone back out.
Boys in as well.
So, and we've got most of the drivers now. We've got the top 5 either pitted.
Pitch Black stayed out, which I'm very surprised.
Especially
he's got rear aero damage, front aero damage. His tyres on. They're not overly worn, but we've seen him twitching coming out of the rear corner.
I think he might have missed a thing, unless you're trying for an overcut.
See, I think that rear aero damage is causing him.
He's losing
too
time.
Much twitchiness.
He's losing time. I think it's. We'll be able to see with the. I mean, AJ's pulling away. He's taking nearly half a second out of him on this. If that pitch definitely needs to be in on the next lap, so he's losing too much time to the drivers in front, and also to those behind. So we'll jump back down to Super Bounty, who must have. I didn't see if Super Bounty went in. If Bounty's not been in, his tyre wear and fuel gauge could have gone. He's to this point of the race without swapping his tyres yet.
Super Bounty had an incident early on though, didn't he? And he had to pit early. So maybe he's changed his tyres and fueled then, and he's running a longer stint now, I believe.
Yeah. So we'll jump down. This again still where the battle is, 5th, 6th, 7th. Tom, Ballboy and Doc Coop, they're all fresh out of the pits. Oh, Doc Coop's round. Big impact there. Very, very lucky to get away with only minor aero and front wheel damage. That could have been major. We've got BJ Robbo's probably going to take him on the exit chicane of death, certainly down into the last corner. Very, very lucky to get away with as little damage as he has there. Unfortunately, now he's got to run a full stint with that damage, though. Very,
Pitch
very
Black is in the
defensive
pits
line.
now. Let's see what he comes out on.
BJ Robbo's got him into the last corner, out onto the straight. We'll see now if he can gap him. Pitch is probably going to come out in 10th, right behind Martin. Martin's
He's on
no damage.
Fresh softs, all that damage has gone. Hopefully he'll be able to push his way right back up the field.
But I'm looking at Martin's lap time here. Martin's on a 38.5. He's only 0.3 behind AJ's fast lap. So the unfortunate contact or spin that Martin had near the laps possibly just dented a proper podium chance.
Right, it's moving.
Jump back up to see what AJ's 13 seconds now AJ's got, and he's just pulling away.
Yeah,
he's on the way to next week's race already.
He's got a hell of a driver, isn't
He is. The Superman is going to be a good team result for the Spinorama boys here, the same way that the Tag Air guys had a great result last week. We've got Ash commenting in the stream. The M6 is a beautiful car. Beautiful. Not to show myself, I'm not a massive fan. But it's a solid car. It's proven its strengths in this league. I think AJ would be this competitive any car he run. He could probably come out in a Renault Gordini and still run away with this.
Well, that would always be my choice of car.
Based on a classic. Let's jump to the back of the field now and see where we're got. Pitch is now back down in 10th after his pit stop.
Making a move. I know Fifi's making a move on Havoc.
Inside.
There's nice little battle going on
Tiny
there.
move. I believe these two guys have probably raced F1 with each other as well, so. Oh, Havoc's going to try and take him back straight away.
Oh. I think he's a bit too far away to make it work, but
this is a battle. This is a definite battle. We'll just jump back up now through the field. Pitch is starting to pull Martin back slightly. Don't forget these drivers are both in the same race for the same team today, even though Martin's still in his D1 livery. He's had to double up today. But another strong run in the points from Martin. So we'll see where we're.
Oh, Havoc's got Fifi back. But that's the trading places all the way down that straight into the sharp hairpin.
Oh, there's contact.
Side by side contact.
Neither wants to give. This is going to be interesting. This next corner.
Side by side into the chicane of death. This could get messy.
That is. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at that post race. But I think Havoc had the entry into that corner. I think he was slightly in front. So I'm sure there'll be words after.
That's just one of them complexes. You can't go 2 by 2 in.
No.
You can't go in side by side. One you have to back out.
Let's jump back up to the front now to see how AJ's getting on. He's now nearly 19 seconds in front of Superman.
He's got himself a nice free pit stop now, hasn't he? So
he has. If he stays clean, one lap's concentration there through a chicane of death, and it could jump back.
VR looks like he's closing right in on Swap Bounty as well. I'm going to keep an eye on this one, Jeff.
Just dive back.
Coming down towards, there's half a second between them coming down towards the hairpin.
Got it down to 0.3 now. There could be a move on the inside here.
Are we going to see another side by side to the chicane of death? Or that's the problem.
Hopefully VR will take him. I think he's held off.
I think that was the pair of them just being a little bit more sensible.
That chicane's one where if you go for a late move, a slight wobble, you're in the wall, and it can cost you 10 or 12 seconds. This is really tight though. Superman is really taking the defensive line. Showing the outside.
Late braking.
You're going to try cut back.
Oh, that might have been a little love tap there, but
Super Bounty's in.
Super Bounty's in.
So, yeah, keep getting Super Bounty's on a slightly different strategy to the others because he's had to pit early.
I'm not going to leave VR here because I believe Ball Boy is now within range into the slipstream. There could be another battle coming on straight away out of one and into another. Ball Boy's now less than half a second.
It's got. I think we'll have to check where VR races in F1, but I believe it's either a D1 or D2. I think the VR just got a little bit squirrely there, and it just pulled Ball Boy into the back of it. Round the outside.
Yeah, beautiful move, absolutely textbook.
And
round the outside.
That's where the Beetle's strong. It's manoeuvrability. It's a very nimble car, and that's not a place you would normally pass. So a great move there by Ball Boy, and hopefully he can hold on to it and get Team Campus on their first podium.
Back.
VR's carrying a little bit of aero damage, but it shouldn't really affect him too much.
So that gap's not shifting too much, and just need to be careful through here. Ooh, watch that wall!
Let's just dive back now. Tom's having a solid run in fourth. Tom, I believe, was last week's race winner. He was certainly in the podium because the Tag Air team had all three places on the podium at Interlagos. It was a complete lockout, which I think we had a comment in the stream last week that it was the first full team lockout, certainly in GTS. Tom's off. Big spin. Hopefully, luckily he's not hit any wall, and I think he's going to take advantage of diving in now and taking his pit stop, which has meant that BJ Robbo's taken his place in fourth. Super Bounty is in fifth on fresh set tyres. Pitch still carrying that little bit of front aero damage.
Ball Boy has gapped VR by 2.5 seconds since he's made that truly amazing overtake last lap. So he's on. I think he's on for a podium here. I really do.
It'd be great to see. The thing is with this league, with GTS, the way that we're running it for this second season, the fact that the cars are all different, it's great to see the variety of driving styles needed for each car, how they handle. You wouldn't normally put a Volkswagen Beetle, a BMW M6 and an AMG as competitive as all three together. It's great to see the different cars mixing it, and also the different drivers. It shows that certain cars suit certain people's driving style, and I think you've just happened to have found in the Spinorama M6 and AJ a perfect match.
I'm having a look a bit further back down the grid. Doc Coupe is less than a second on Marco. That gap is flying down now. He's in the slipstream.
Could you see an outbreak into the right hand at the bottom of the hill? It's a little bit far back, but this is going to get very, very tight through the chicane. It's gone a little bit deep, I think, trying to take advantage of the gap.
But Marco's had a little wobble as well. Oh, we're going to see another moment of drama into the chicane of death. We're taking it nice and easy. Oh, don't try that.
Oh, Doc Coupe's in the wall. Oh, this is what we were saying earlier, Rob. The slightest little movement from the car, and it can be catastrophic for that. That's probably cost Doc Coupe a good 5 to 10 seconds, and he's picked up aero and suspension damage on the front.
He's only pitted recently as well, so
he's
is he going to just stay out and run, or did Marco pick up a little bit of damage there at all? No, he was just on his stop anyway.
Marco's in the pits.
Ambitious.
Marco's pit. We're just going to promote Martin to 10th on the road. Martin must just be fresh out. He's got decent fuel load on, decent tyres, and he's going to push on. He's now 6.8. The gap to Doc Coupe must be coming down. That aero damage is maybe causing Doc Coupe a little bit more than we thought. He's sat in a safe place at the moment. A bit glitchy there. I thought it was going to be off again, but it just looked to just be a glitch. He's sat in a safe place. He's got 6.2 back to Martin now and 7.8. Now AJ's in the pits. AJ's in the pits on lap 14. He is going for a straight 3 stop. So he'll take on a reasonable amount of fuel here. Maybe just around half a tank, and then he'll be back out. go. Half attack fuel, press it soft.
And VR fighting again for second and third.
There may have been contact.
But VR has massive damage.
And so does Ball
So
Boy.
does Ball Boy.
Front and rear. They must have had it coming together. So sorry, guys, we can't get this replay working. We were trying with Robot earlier, and my keyboard or PlayStation just doesn't seem to want to play. We got three.
That's going to put something about the in a second on fresh tyres, just less than a half a tank.
And Pitch. And there's a battle going to come here between Pitchback and Phil Babbage.
I'm going to keep an eye on
down
this one,
to
Jeff.
0.3. Pitch is having a real good drive today.
Really is.
A little bit of a wobble there, so Phil's going to maybe have a look onto the inside of the right hander. I think he'll hold off.
This is one corner where you can't really make a move. It just doesn't work.
If you get pushed off on the outside,
one he's got on the inside,
he has great move.
Absolutely
Great move. I think he set him up there.
Textbook move.
He set him up for that corner early, and he's already. I don't know whether the pitch expected him to come through there, but he's already put nearly second into him. He's pulling away now. Phil's really dragging away. 1.2 just in this lap, just after that move. AJ's come out of the pits now with a 21.5 second lead. He could nearly pop for a bottle of milk and come back and still be in the lead. Superbad again. It's going to be a great 1-2 at the moment for the Spinorama BMW team. Superman has got a 5.5 second gap on Phil Babbage, and it's holding around 5.5 as well.
That could be a battle between Fifi and Marco soon as well, which I'm just keeping an eye on now. Fifi's less than a second as per usual, coming down to the hairpin. We know that gap can close up in the slipstream. But no, it's not. I don't think he's close enough this lap.
Martin's in a safe 9th at the moment. Martin's pace is not very good. He's had one lap at 2 minutes and 9. His out lap after the pit, so I don't know whether he maybe had a little bit of a spin there. Fifi and Marco looked to come together.
No, there was no coming together. Marco managed to do that all on his own, unfortunately.
He's picked up massive damage.
The curve. That's him going to plummet all the way at the back. Poor lad, I feel sorry for him.
Unfortunately for Marco, the damage has occurred just after a pit stop as well. He's got a huge engine damage, which is going to cost him an awful lot of time. He's going to have to come in and clear that damage now. Jump right back up to the top. We'll have a quick flick down through the whole field. AJ's 22 seconds in front of Super Bounty. We just caught the back end of the spin there. He's picked up huge damage. He's got front aero, suspension and engine damage, which has left Phil in second. But again, it's the problem we get with this track being so unforgiving is if you get damage at this point in a race, it really throws your pit stop strategy out. And it's not quite close enough to the end to run a 10 or 11 lap stint.
I'm keeping an eye on this to see how much this is going to cost Phil.
Ball Boy's pulling him back hand over fist. He's obviously seen there's been an incident, and the gap's just plummeting down. He'll have him before this last corner. Hopefully,
Superbounty's just moved out of his way.
Very good move there. So that gives you podium now. You've got a BMW M6, a Porsche 911 RSR, and a Volkswagen Beetle. I don't know of any other Forza Motorsport, but you'll ever hear that as your podium.
It's a very German front three.
It is. Now, if you think with the activity that's gone on, that's now put Tom up into 4th. So you've got the Tag Heuer cars in 2nd and 4th, which team points wise is going to leave very, very good. Just have a quick dive.
Phil Babbage has a bit of front air and a bit of front wheel damage, but I think he's been carrying that for a while, hasn't he?
He has. Let's go have a quick look on the point situation in D2 for you. So we'll probably see where.
I tell you what, though, I think that little bit of front damage is actually going to cost him significantly if he doesn't change soon. As Ball Boy is pulling back time hand over fist on him now.
He has. Just look at this way. You've got Tag Heuer Vermilion in first overall at the moment with 93, Spinorama 77, and Corvo West on 59. So it's slowly becoming a three-way battle for the championship. So with another 2nd and 4th, it'll be another strong result for the Tag Heuer guys, which will please Kimi and Jan
between 10 and 11, between 10th and 11th, Fifi and Doc Cooper start there's the beginnings of what could be a beautiful battle here.
Jump back to that then, just have a quick look.
There's half a second between them. And you know half a second coming down this section of the track is going to give you an opportunity.
Doc Coop's going to have this place because Fifi's got... his tyres are a lot more worn. Doc Coop must have just come out. So hopefully... oh, we're just going to... I always dread when we get down to this part of chicane of death. It's going to...
oh,
it lures you into making a lunge.
We've been in this situation so many times now, and they're going side by side. We know this doesn't
you can't get too way through there.
Oh, wow! Beautiful move!
Wow! Oh, if only we could replay that.
And he's back in twitching, but he's away. He's got it.
That is the move of the race.
Well done,
It's just
Doc Coop.
not a place you go round the outside there. Phenomenal
Truly
move.
amazing move, but Fifi's still there. He's still hanging with him. Could make a comeback move in the next few corners unless that Porsche just does what Porsches do and leaves.
So look, we've got... I'm just going to move back up the field now. If we lost Dr. We've lost Dr. Robot so much. Pitch Black's off. Pitch is off coming out of the first chicane.
I tell you what,
and he's
Fifi's
picked up
not
engine
giving
damage. The damage situation in GTS this season is a real leveller. You've got to make the slightest mistake or the slightest contact with another driver, and it costs you time so much.
Since Doc Coop's amazing move onto Fifi, Fifi hasn't gave up. He's held with him, he's kept it between under half a second all the way. They're coming back through the S's down towards the hairpin, still 0.2 of a second between them now.
Could we see a return move? They're going to come past Pitch
I think
now.
we're going to see a return move now.
This will be the two places take 9th and 10th from Pitch, who's suffered that awful damage. Fifi's a great F1 driver as well. I believe he had his podium last weekend out at Spa.
They're heading towards the chicane of death, very close, so they're just going to... yeah, they're just going to go through it nice and easy together.
So, and watch this, and it's a battle for the
lower
two.
Just slightly grazed the wall, but I don't think it's done anything. This has been a couple of laps I'm quite happy been watching. Quite happy to watch.
There's no damage for either, although Fifi's
in the pits now.
Now we'll just watch Fifi stop here, because depending on what he does, he could, if he feels heavy enough, there is an option to go and make this his final stint. 9 laps, it's doable on a set of softs. It's a big actually, they do drop off on sort of lap 8 onwards. And he has, it looks like he's fueled to the end. He has fueled to the end. This is going to be interesting to watch. Because he's come out with...
back up the grid.
Pitch has...
Super Bounty and Martin are very close as well.
Pitch has come out on mediums.
More worn tyres. Super Bounty's closing that gap up down towards the hairpin. Oh, I'm going to have to close my eyes again, aren't I?
You are. Hopefully they'll come through this as well. Well, Pitch has come out on mediums because obviously he's got a longer stint now to the end. So it'll be interesting to see how those mediums hold up. Oh, Super Bounty's got
Martin's
a little bit deep, which is going to save us through the chicane.
He's still got a hell of a run on him though.
Let's get the second part of the chicane, I think, is the worst one. If you get slightly out and clip it out, it's like, oh, it's how close is that?
You couldn't have put a cigarette paper between the back end of that car and the wall. Tell you what, Jeff, I'm going to keep an eye on this battle for the rest of this lap. Maybe it's the next one.
That will jump back up to the front, and now the gap AJ's pulled 35 seconds nearly now.
Bounty's making a move around the outside. No, he's fell back. Oh, that is so close.
To the pits. We've got Ball Boys now in second. He's keeping the gap fairly constant back to Tom, who's in third. But Ball Boy's due to come in the pits now at 6 seconds. And Tom, the tyres aren't a great deal different. Although Ball Boy's playing a very...
Martin's run wide, Martin, no! Oh, Martin's hit the wall, he's ran wide, he clipped the curb, went off the curb onto the grass and it spat him across the track. He's hit the wall, massive damage so early on in the lap.
It's unfortunate.
Unlucky, that's very unfortunate.
He's picked up major engine damage as well.
Yeah, so early on as well.
I think luckily with Martin on pit at the end of this lap, it's a shame it's so far into it because it's going to cost him, I would think, maybe 15-20 seconds this damage on this lap. But he'll probably be pitting on strategy, so at least he'll be in this lap and he'll clear it fairly quickly.
Just look back up the grid.
Doc Coombs in a safe place in 8th. Super Bounty is horrid, just nice, about 2.5 seconds behind Phil Babbage. Tom's in the pits, which is
there's a battle for last place starting here as well. Not just there's a battle for
11th, 12th, 13th.
Yeah, I was just trying to work out numbers there, Jeff.
There'll be the big things on top of the cars. Oh, Marco's had a little. Oh, Marco spun.
Oh,
which has caused pits to go off. I think he took a really, really wide line there. It looks like Marco's got away with no damage. But it's interesting to see. Just keep an eye on pitch on this lap and just see how the mediums are holding up. See what sort of lap time he puts in on this lap. They're not normally the popular tyre.
Just gonna have a flick through as Joe, keep an eye on that, see if I can. Martin came in obviously to fix that damage.
Luckily, this will be his last stop as well. He'll go 7 laps at the end here.
Tom, Phil Babbage and BJ Robble for 6th, 5th and 4th. Very, very, very close.
Let's jump back up to this then.
I feel very sorry for BJ Robble having 2 Tag Heuer cars so close to him.
It's going to be another great team result by the Tag Heuer guys if they keep where they are. Let's have a look here from Tom's car.
Keep it nice and clean through here.
Tom will be sat in quite nicely, just hoping to pick up any places if there's any contact or any naughtiness from the 2 in front. Or Phil was looking to make a move round.
Going for a move round. No, not gonna. I'm gonna have to change my view because I can't.
Phil made it hold that time. He did try that earlier on in the race and didn't quite get away with it this time. He has. So you've still got 4th, 5th, and 6th really close together, and you've now got Ballboy and VR in the pits. Let's see if they've come.
They're all going to come out pretty much bunched up together, aren't they?
Yeah, Ballboy's out. He's just cleared the first chicane. But it has promoted BJ Robbo 3rd, Phil Babbage 4th, and VR in 5th.
With Tom just behind them. There's 4 cars all within range of each other.
This is the battle. Oh, there's Tom very, very close. I think it may have been a little bit of a, we'll call it a little bit of a weekend smooch. There's definitely a little bit of a touch there. These are 2 very good battles.
See, I'm watching it from Tom's bonnet right now, and that battle in front, I really would not like the VVR right now in a
Phil Babbage is close,
and he's going around.
Close enough now. BJ Roberts showing me. Oh, we've got one off in the background. Well, VR went off slightly there. He's managed to hold it, but it has cost him time and allowed Tom through.
And the pair of them, you can see Phil Babbage in front, just looking for that little bit of space. If he's going to show him the gap, he's going to. Ooh,
and this is a definite podium fight here. I know they're through 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but they're all on their last run. So this is going to run to the end. This is going to be a hell of a fight to watch. Not taken away from Ballboy. He's having a great drive in the Beetle there in 2nd. And because these 3 are fighting, he's gapping him, he's pulling away. So only going to allow him 3rd time. Tom may have had a little slide there because he's just dropped back slightly.
Yeah, he had a little bit just coming through the chicane of death. He had a what I would call a close call with the wall. And now Phil looking around the outside of BJ Robber there, onto the inside, into the chicane.
Can't really go too well. They've tried to cut back. He's going to try and get a good drive down here into this right. Oh,
this fight's just letting Tom creep up on them.
Too deep. Oof. Phil, very good move there just to pull back. He could have pushed that and it would have cost them both dearly, but he did the right thing just to pull back in behind him. So look, just quick look through the stream and see what. I'm not quite sure what Ash is going for here. Apparently a ball boy is quicker than Rod is catching a fish. Quite what the reference is there, Rod.
No, I don't. I've never been fishing.
We have got Kimmy as well, who's looking out for his drivers in this race. Shout out to Kimmy, had a very good run in race 1, Kimmy, well done.
This battle is looking so tasty now down at the chicane of death.
All three of them are so close. This is great. I mean, Tag here are the team, I think, to beat. I think if Rod and Pollux hadn't taken the D1 position, I think the battle for the championship would have been between R&P and Tag here this year.
Honest, my feet are going mental here. It's like I'm driving this car.
See, this is going to be the battle to watch at the end. I'm just going to try it. Every time I kind of go, just want to look up, see what AJ's doing. We get to a point where it's going to get very, very close. Oh, Robert's going to show him the outside again here. Got the inside
he's doing that, and it's allowing Tom onto the inside.
Oh, there's nearly contact there between Tom and Phil. BJ Robbo's having a fantastic drive here.
This is a defensive masterclass, especially when you're holding off two cars that are obviously will be in a party chat talking to each other, trying to pick their moments, and he's got him on the inside. And
I would imagine Kimmy and Jan are sat there and
they're going side by side into the next turn. And it's loud. Tom's.
We've got talk in the chat of is AJ to D1 confirmed. It's maybe there's something going on here with the Spinorama guys as well. I know AJ's been driving D1 and D2. He's a D1 driver. He's definitely a D1 driver.
He's far too fast for D2.
He's 37, getting on for 40 seconds out in front here. So I don't know whether maybe we can have a Castle again confirming that AJ's definitely a D1 driver. And a lot of the top guys I know will love racing against AJ week in, week out. He's definitely got the pace to be up.
I haven't took my eyes off this battle for the past 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, just a ball boy a little bit. Sorry, we got something.
Phil Babbage clipped the wall a little bit, which has allowed BJ Robbo a little bit of breathing space.
About a second and a half.
Tom's going around.
Just going to jump back up to seconds. And just give ball boy a little bit of damage. The Capri Sun team, a great run in second here. Great run. I'm just going to again sort of look on the Discord and just see if this is ball boy's first race in D2, which is going to be a fantastic result for a debut and give Capri Sun a decent run of points. There's a lot of talk in here about the AJ to D1 conversation. There may be more moves in this coming week between teams than we can really announce at the moment. So watch the Discord, guys, and just see what happens over the next 7 days. See, Tom looks to be pulling back up to.
What I think's happened is Phil's took a little bit of damage. It looks like they've switched out places to let Tom start the attack, keep the attack going on to BJ Robbo. Phil's slowly starting to drop back now.
It is, and Tom is as well. It's just starting to spread out a little bit now. The gap's 1.3, 1.2, but Tom looks got a good drive with the clock coming out of that last corner. But the gap back to Phil now is steady 2.5. And I imagine team orders will come into play at some point between these two drivers. We'll have another one back down. Phil's got a solid 10-second gap over Super Bounty, who's got rear damage. Super Bounty's got front damage. Phil's got rear damage from that incident he had earlier. VR is 6.5 nearly behind Super Bounty. Good point scoring run for him. Fifi in 8 is
Martin's making a move on Marco out of the chicane of death, and he's got it done. Oh, Marcos got damage and a penalty. So.
And very, very worn tyres. Extreme worn.
I didn't notice
He's going
that.
to try and make these. I think maybe from the look of the colour, they've put the tyres on back to front. So what's AJ's on his final lap. Perfect fuel load, perfect tyres for the stage we're in, and 36 seconds. He could nearly, like I say, he could nearly cruise at home. Cruise control on, aircon on, feet up. A bit of maybe. I don't know.
Tom's just clipped the wall, coming out of the chicane of death.
Which is
he's now got a bit of front aero damage, front left damage.
I think this will probably not affect him.
Put Phil back into it.
Probably not affect him too much this point. At this point in the race, but he's just going to solidify BJ Robbo's run to third. I think as he starts his final lap. Phil in fifth, still a good strong throw in fourth and fifth for the Tag Her guys. We have Doc Cooper still all 3 point scorers. Havoc in 10th. We've got Pitch in 11th. The gamble on the mediums didn't look really to have paid off. They looked to be about 2 seconds a lap slower. His hand was forced by an incident.
AJ's just entering the final corner of the race.
We'll watch him over the line. Fantastic result.
What a truly amazing display.
See, he probably could just get out and push it back from here. Fantastic win there for AJ. Dominant win as he did last week. He's definitely the one to beat in D2, unless, like they're talking about in the chat, unless he makes a move to D1.
And then D1 wants to be put on notice. Because he's just as quick there.
I mean, podium in D1 today, race win in D2. He could be the driver to beat in both championships this year. Watch Ballboy Abbott, fantastic debut podium. Great result for the Capri-Sun team as well. And nice to see a full fat 911 up there as well.
Full fat 911.
We've got BJ Robbo coming over the line in third. A fantastic result for the Corver West driver.
I tell you what, that defensive display he put on in them last few laps, that was a masterclass.
The battle between them. We've got Tom and Phil Babbage come over in fourth and fifth. Good team, solid team points for the two of them. Super Bounty is coming up in sixth. He's got the same indicator on that AJ's got.
He's just proven that the BMWs have them.
Good result for Super Bounty in sixth.
VR over as well in seventh.
We'll watch Fifi over the line.
Oh, there's a battle between Fifi and Doc Coop into the last corner.
Oh, there's contact.
Doc Coop's around. Doc Coop for eighth. Or eighth for now, because that was a bit of contact there.
Solid points for Fifi as well in there. And Havoc is going to cross the line as the last driver on the lead lap. So you've got your full run. You've got AJ, Ballboy, BJ Robbo, Tom, Phil Babbage, Super Bounty, VR. We'll have to jump back to the stream now because it's gone off. But great driving all three. Fantastic result from AJ, moving up 12 places from his start position. Great run, great race. It will be interesting to see whether there's any moves in this week for drivers moving between divisions. It looks like in the stream like there's a couple being talked about. So we shall see what comes
that next
up.
week.
We shall. And we'll end. I don't know if Shane's going to be watching the stream or he might watch it back later, but just for Shane. But do you know, Rod, do you know how a penguin puts his house together?
No, Jeff, I don't.
He glues it.
I only come here for these, you know.
Well, I'm here all week. Thanks for watching. If anyone's around and they want to watch some F1 racing, there is the D3 race at 7 PM. You may there might be a certain commentator running around in that after very little time at Russia this week, so it's going to be an interesting run. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments in the stream. And just for Smalley, go Team Kawasaki. They're a super duper Kawasaki. Nice. And we shall see you all next week. Thanks for watching.